it appeared that we were going to have a very normal meeting between Representative Renee Elmers, who's a Republican of North Carolina, and Brigadier General Martin Schweitzer, who was actually at the time a colonel. He's the commander of the Army's 82nd Airborne Division, and they were going to talk about military issues, and they largely agree, and everything was going to go well. Until we found an email exchange that showed us a slightly different story. Interesting. First, in an email exchange that he has with another person, Jeffrey A. Sinclair, who's a commander, we'll get to him in a second, the Brigadier General, again a colonel at the time, says about the meeting, briefing went well. She was engaging, had done her homework. She wants us to know she stands with us and will push to get Fort Bragg family, and then it's redacted. I'll get back to why things were redacted in a second. But it seems perfectly normal, nothing out of the ordinary at all. But then he adds into the email, quote, she is smoking hot. Interesting. Okay, now, I don't know what that has to do with his briefing. Now, it's the tip, just the tip, of the iceberg. Okay, we're about to get to something much worse in a second. First, let's find out if he's right. Current Brigadier General Schweitzer on the left and Renee Elmers on the right. Now, bless their hearts, whatever he happens to think of her, okay, it's not that relevant. And she's a lovely young woman who happens to be in Congress, and we should treat her with respect and not worry about her looks too much. Now, look, this is an email that he has that's friendly within the military. So far, no big deal at all. Okay, so he thought the congresswoman was hot. She might even be flattered by that. All right, well, I should note here that his friend Sinclair, Commander Sinclair, writes back, he sucks because apparently he took too long to get back to an email. Still needs to confirm hotness. Okay, all right, interesting. I should pause to note that the reason we find out this email exchange because Commander Sinclair is facing a court-martial over sexual assault and adultery. Okay, now the adultery I don't care about. I know it's military rules, but sexual assault would be a big issue in the military, and I'm not sure that's the guy I would be exchanging emails with about hotness with. But again, we're about to get into the best stuff. So now, since Sinclair said, okay, you haven't confirmed hotness yet, he comes back and says, here's a quote from the article covering this from Talking Points memo. Schweitzer responded to Sinclair's email more than an hour later, apologizing for the delay in responding to the email, teasing that he had masturbated 3 times over the past 2 hours. I believe that would be a oops. Yeah, wish that hadn't gotten out. Well, literally. Okay. Oh, man, that's freaking embarrassing. So, of course, once we find out about this, he says, my comments were a terrible attempt at humor. I didn't mean them literally or figuratively. I simply meant them to try and be funny during a very tense period with a command to a limited audience. Meaning, me and my buddy Sinclair were just joking around about this. I mean, it wasn't literal. It wasn't literal. I didn't actually masturbate. Okay, calm down, dude. Calm down. Bring it down. Now, he added.
I regret it. I'm sorry. You're saying I'm sorry. That was just my mistake and my bad. I'm sorry.
That's awesome. Now, if you think that's bad, let me give you this final quote. The Army censored the most offensive email in its entirety, citing personal privacy interests. Oh no. If masturbating a couple times to a U.S. Congresswoman wasn't that bad and they could share that with us, and the one they couldn't share with us, oh, geez, Lord mercy. I don't know if I want to know or don't want to know. All right, now, yes, this is an issue for this one-armed force. Well, something was airborne in the 82nd Airborne Division, and I suppose he was standing at attention, and it's a shame he wasn't a staff sergeant. But all that notwithstanding, let him go! Let him go! I don't know if the Army has rules on masturbating to Congresswomen. I hope it doesn't. Okay, but it's a funny story, but I don't think he should suffer any consequences for it. He was sending it to a friend. He didn't think it was going to be public. If he had said it publicly, then I would question his judgment. Even sending an internal armed forces email is questionable judgment, but not that big a deal, and I'm sure he thought there's no way in the world that would ever get out. And yes, from time to time, people in the military have talked about the hotness of women, even if they are U.S. Congresswomen. So, look, in these investigations, and the very serious ones, including the sexual assault on Sinclair, other things that we have found out includes Air Force Brigadier General David Uygur had a vodka bottle in his desk and drank numerous times while on duty. Okay, see, that's a much bigger issue. Okay, if you're saucing up while you're on duty, that could be an issue. A guy goes to work in a couple of different ways. That's his business, man. Am I not merciful? I judge not guilty.